Good morning, viewers and concerned citizens, media listeners. Welcome back and nice to have you here. I hope you have a good time. I have been away for a while. Uh, nice to have you here anyway. So, as usual, I have some news to read and some videos to share at the end. Thank you again, and let's get started. Here are the news and concerned citizens media comment for May 17, 2021. 3 Chinese citizens working on mining projects are abducted in West Welega, Oromia region. Oromo Liberation Army spokesman confirmed this report and also said that they are in good condition. The spokesman also added that these miners were warned to stop the project before their abduction was carried out. These persons' photos are circulating on various social media now. No statement is released from Ethiopian or Chinese government on this report. Abiy Ahmed's security forces brutally beaten the mother of Emanuel Wondimu in Dambidolo, Welega, for shouting and crying with louder voice during her son's killing by Abiy Ahmed's killing squad. Emanuel Wondimu was a student and has no criminal record according to his closest friends. Abiy Ahmed security forces claim that he was a member of Abducted group that has engaged in assassinating government officials and security personnel, according to the government claim. Fundraising is opened to help Emanuel's mother medical expenses. Help information is available on Kadiro LMO Media or Yoya Media. Lack of accountability and other atrocities continue in Oromia and other regions under Abiy Ahmed leadership. So the brutality and the grave human rights violations crossed all red lines in Oromia and other parts of the country under Abiy Ahmed leadership, and no accountability at all. So we are in a very different situation. We are in a very different condition under Abiy Ahmed. And I think the order is given, the shoot to kill order is given, and to do whatever necessary to keep his power. So this is very tough one. It has been reported by Amnesty International organization and other human rights watch, but still these things are happening. Now they kill the son, and when the mother is crying, they beaten her almost to death. I don't have that graphic picture, but it's circulating in other medias. So this is very, very tough to watch, and worse than the TPLF time. So all red lines crossed under Abiy Ahmed, and Abiy Ahmed don't care about international laws, and they don't care about international pressures or concerns raised by Human Rights Watch, United States, European Union, all. They don't care. So this thing is happening, and these security officials are given unlimited power to do whatever they want to. So what I'm suggesting as a concerned citizens media, please, if you have the information, who did what and when, please record it and preserve it for future reference. Anybody who has information, who ordered the killing, who ordered the torture, when, so the name of the individuals killed, the name of the individuals order, should be recorded in a different book, in a different recording book for future references. Hopefully, one day they will be accounted for whatever they did to Oromos or others, in the future. Now, no accountability at this time. So please record it and keep it for future reference if you have the information. Pressure is mounting on Ethiopia and Eritrean governments. The United States State Department released the following press statement on Ethiopia Tigray region. I will read directly from their statement. The United States is gravely concerned by the increasing number of confirmed cases of military forces blocking humanitarian access to parts of the Tigray region. This is unacceptable behavior, places the 5.2 million people in the region in immediate need of humanitarian assistance at even greater risk. The United States unequivocally calls upon the government of Eritrea and Ethiopia to take all necessary steps to ensure that their forces in Tigray cease and desist this reprehensible conduct. We all again call on all parties to comply with obligations under international humanitarian law, including those relevant to the protection of civilians, and to cease immediately all hostilities and allow relief to reach those suffering and in greatest need of assistance. The Ethiopian government should lead this regard and immediately facilitate full and unhindered access for humanitarian actors to all parts of the Tigray region. There are many credible reports of armed forces in Tigray committing acts of violence against civilians, including gender-based violence and other human rights abuses and atrocities. The conduct of the Eritrean Defense Forces and Amhara regional forces have been particularly egregious. The continued presence of Eritrean forces in Tigray further undermines Ethiopia's stability and national unity. We again call upon the government of Eritrea to remove its forces from Tigray. Both Eritrea and Ethiopian authorities have repeatedly promised such withdrawal, but we have seen no movement toward implementation. We equally urge the government of Ethiopia to withdraw Amhara regional forces from the Tigray region and ensure that effective control of Western Tigray is returned to the transitional government of Tigray. Prime Minister Abiy and President Isaias must hold all those responsible for atrocities accountable. So this is a very long press release from State Department expressing the concerns, especially blocking humanitarian aids from reaching the needy people in Tigray region, plus about the withdrawal of the Eritrean defense forces from the Tigray region, because they are the cause of insecurity and instability in the region, plus the cause of a lack of unity for the country. And also the State Department calls on Ethiopian government to withdraw the Amara Special Forces and give back those Humera and Wolqayt Agade, those areas that are retaken by Amara Special Forces and under their government now. So the American government say they have to leave and give those areas for the transitional government of the Tigray. So these are very tough calls. And I know Ethiopia is claiming sovereignty, claiming internal affairs, so blaming America, involving in the internal affairs. So in the boasting with a national pride to challenge the United States. So we will see which direction this thing is going on. But for now, the United States plus European Union and others are putting pressure, maximum pressure, and a warning on Eritrean and Abiy Ahmed to handle the Tigray region according to international law, to protect civilians, and demanding the withdrawal of the Eritrean forces from the region. So far, no action is happening, and the Americans and others are watching it. They are following it, but Ethiopians, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his, his Prosperity Party officials, military officials, all denied first, but now they accepted, and they say Eritreans will come out from Tigray, but no, so far, zero. Some reports already suggesting Eritreans using Ethiopian uniform. So the situation is right there. It's not changing. They are playing. They are not fulfilling their obligations, and they are lying to the international community. And so we'll see what's gonna happen. They are just keep playing, Eritreans and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. And I know this is internal or domestic issue, but sometimes the domestic issue will be exposed to the international laws when the violation happen. So that claim may not work. They keep claiming, they keep boasting about the national pride, not occupied by other countries. Yes, historically, yes, Ethiopia and Liberia, I think, the only two countries not occupied by foreign forces. That's a pride. But what's happening now is a grave human rights violations in Tigray region by Amara Special Forces, by Eritrean criminal forces. That's why the international community is paying attention, even though it's internal matter. So we'll see. Abiy Ahmed is boasting again and again, and not fulfilling what he said he will do, cheating the global community and cheating Ethiopians, including Ethiopians. Okay, that is credit for U.S. State Department website. Okay, and this one looks like a new demand, especially transferring the areas controlled by the Amara Special Force to the Tigray region. I don't know how the United States can enforce this unless they have some sanctions or military presence on the land. This is a very tough one. Okay, another strong press release or press statement is coming from the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. This is another pressure on Abiy Ahmed. It reads as follows: Ethiopia cannot build a stable, prosperous democracy if its leaders insist on staying in power by jailing opposition leaders, persecuting journalists, and stifling free debate. Amidst brutal civil war, Ethiopia deserves credible elections, not a coronation for the regime. So the upcoming election is not credible in the eye of the Western world, including the United States. They're calling for credible election for inclusiveness of all stakeholders. So far, Abiy Ahmed gave them a deaf ear. He ignored them. Pressure is mounting from European Union and from United Nations and from Special Envoy for Horn of Africa. All are calling for dialogue, for reconciliation and free, fair election. So far, defiance is coming from the Ethiopian government and a false claim about national sovereignty, even though the sovereignty is already broken by Eritrean forces and the Sudanese army. So we will see, but the pressure is still mounting. The demand for the withdrawal of Eritrean forces is coming from European Union, coming from US, and other players. So no action at all. I think the Prime Minister and the Eritrean government are waiting for other maximum pressure through sanctions or military means. That's the only thing you can say, because they are cheating the global community. They are cheating. They say we do this, we do this, we do this. They promise a lot of things, but no action at all. Okay, the last one. Israeli aggression against Palestinians continue. So far, 181 Palestinians killed, including 52 children and 31 women. 1,200 Palestinians are also injured. On Israeli side, only 9 killed. Israeli conducted 950 airstrikes at heavily populated Gaza and destroyed 18 buildings, including 4 high-rising buildings. Part of one of the building was used as Al Jazeera and Associated Press media reporting center. Hamas also fired a barrage of 180 plus rockets into Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv and suburbs. The United Nations Security Council called on both sides to end the hostility against civilians and called for total ceasefire on Sunday's meeting. The call for the two-state solution based on the 1967 border is increasing. No strong statement is expected from the United Nations against the powerful Israeli government due to the United States opposition to such measures. So this is a very challenging, and this is a generation problem it passed from generation to generation without ending sight. It may take break and come back, and through the process, Palestinians are losing their land, losing their lives, and Israeli attack and destroy the buildings. That will help them to expand their territories through forced evacuation of the Palestinians, through the bombardment and other legal means. So they are doing this. Now, the United Nations Security Council and others are, talking about 1967 border, which is good to say, but how you gonna enforce? How you gonna put all these Israeli residents who are moving farther into Palestinian territories? Just like last year. Forget about 1967. That's too far. That will be a very tough one to put into practice. 1967 border. I think Israelis, or the Israeli government, may be laughing at the United Nations when they say this, because unimaginable, cannot be carried out. 1967, it's good to say, but on Israeli side, what you talking about 1967? You can't even talk about what they took last year, or like 3 months ago, or maybe 2 years ago. You can't even take away from them. So you're talking about 1967. I wish it happened. I wish we all want to see that to happen, but that's a very tough one. I think it's better to talk about that one and stop the Israeli moving forward from now on. If the United Nations has a tease, that's the only thing. If the United States and others, maybe United Kingdom and others, support the ceasefire and stop the settlement activities, taking the Palestinians' land from day to day, through court system, through military system, through other forces. So that's a tough one, and still the conflict is happening. The United Nations has no power to stop it, and it's a very tough one. Maybe the United States can do it if she want to. Just tell the Israelis, stop, enough is enough. They can say that. They can do it. The others will join them. So it's just like Chinese and the Russians stand against the US when it came to Ethiopia. So everybody is looking for its own friendly relation with the country and for its own advantage. So we'll see. We watch it or report it, and the dream of 1967 we wish it happened. But before we go too far, we want something to stop the more expansion, more taking of lives, and more injury. And Israeli claims the most democratic country in the Middle East, but they don't want the media to report. That's why they bombed the Al Jazeera and Associated press building. So that is the situation. Okay, let's see now. Okay, just give me time. I have one video talking about a homeless man winning $150,000 against the powerful city.
Lewis County and wins big. A federal judge rules the county's laws against asking drivers for money are unconstitutional.
Fox 2's Andy Banker speaks with the man.
What? Sorry.
Man and his attorneys.
After winning a 150 day, there should be nothing to decide. Pay him
What is this?
his due.
He'll be able to get a place to live and not be homeless anymore.
The ruling also orders the county to pay more than $138,000 for Fernandez's attorney's fees. Andy Banker, Fox 2.
We had a lot of rain, and it made it even more comfortable.
Okay, that's a homeless man sued the city, challenged them in the court with tough lawyers, and he won his case and got $150,000. So the claim was the city tried to deny him not to beg on the roads, on the highway or exit of the highways by the ramps. So based on the lawyers, tough lawyers helped him to win this case. So even though he's homeless, still has a legal right to beg and to live a life. So that's interesting. Let's go to the other videos. Okay.
Appeal to all parties to heed this call. The United Nations is actively engaging all sides towards an immediate ceasefire. The hostilities have already caused unconscionable death, immense suffering, and damage to vital infrastructure. I'm appalled by the increasingly large number of Palestinian civilian casualties, including many women and children from Israeli strikes in Gaza. And I also deplore Israeli fatalities from rockets launched from Gaza. The hostilities have forced thousands of Palestinians to leave their homes in Gaza and shelter in schools, mosques, and other places, with limited access to water, food, hygiene, and oil services. Hospitals are already overstretched due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and meanwhile, Israeli civilians live in fear of rockets launched from Gaza. I am appalled by the attack on a refugee camp in Gaza in which 10 members of one family were killed. Humanitarian installations must be protected. Journalists must be allowed to work free of fear and harassment. The destruction of media offices in Gaza is extremely concerning. The status quo at the holy sites must be upheld and respected. Only a negotiated, sustainable political solution will end once and for all these devastating cycles of violence and lead to a peaceful future for Palestinians and Israelis alike.
Okay, that's the United Nations General Secretary General Antonio Guterres calling on or talking about the situation in Israeli and the Palestinian issue.
Bitcoin, the best money we've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of card.
So this is protesters against the Israelis forces. They are using whatever available, tires, stones, rocks, whatever. See? Nice injured. So this is, I think, in the United States, pro-Palestinian demonstrators.
Of the 1985 bombing of the Move
the gym. It's not a problem. Take me to the gym. I'm gonna show you how to get out the game. This is how I'm hopeless, and I have no faith in my government. I did not vote in the 2020 election because I was not interested in participating in Biden, which he just showed a few days ago. He's like, I don't care at all about Palestine. The first thing he said was Israel has a right to defend itself. Biden has a long history of blindly supporting Israel. It's not a left or right issue. Politicians are not to be trusted. The people are to be trusted. That's why in Palestine right now you see the people rising up. It's not political parties. I understand the war is going on right now again, like a snowball, it just keeps going in a circle. But the popular uprising, the intifada that's happening right now, is happening from young people that are fighting with rocks. They're getting locked up. You know what I mean?
Okay. So that is reporting on the conflict between Israeli and the Palestinians. Yes, as the demonstrator said, the word matter, the expression matter. Israel has a right to defend itself. That's obvious, whether you say it or not. But you saying it will encourage Israel to do more harm to the Palestinians. So that word is just has been repeated in several generations, and that give Israel the encouragement to take more land, to kill more Palestinians, to destroy more properties, to increase its pressure on Palestinians to move out of their homes so that the Israelis can or will take over. So that's a very tough situation. So Israel need strong words and a strong warning from the U.S. President Joe Biden to tell them the truth. Their action is not acceptable. Repeatedly aggravating the Palestinians, poking or what to their eyes, repeatedly aggravating them, pushing them beyond the limit so they can act. When they act, Israeli with its almighty causes all the horrible destructions and the loss of life, including the lives of children and the mothers, plus elders. All they care is about their expansion. They don't care about Palestinians. And the other thing they're scared of is the talk of two-state solution. If Palestinians become the state, they may not have the right way or the freedom to do the same thing if Palestinians became independent state. They know it. That's why they're doing all these horrible things against them, so they will not have a state. Actually, they may, take over the whole Palestinian region. That is the plan. They don't say it, but through their action, you can understand. So let's pray for a two-state solution based on 1967 borderline. Let's dream. That's a dream. And let's say, let's call for peace and stability between these cousins, as they claim, and into the violence from generation to generation. That's our prayer. And also we have to pay attention to the Abiy Ahmed actions. We have to expose him what is ordering the security forces to do in Oromia region without any accountability. As I said, I will repeat, please record who did what and when, and keep it for future. I hope those people will be accountable one day in the future. So, horrible crime, horrible human rights violations happening in Oromia region. You saw it, and the mother and the child. You saw it in the previous cases. You saw it in the prisoners taken out from jail in the middle of the night and kill them. All other atrocities, unimaginable, very tough one to report, keep coming back. So this guy said he will do everything to stay in power, to become a king in Ethiopia. So this is very tough one, but we'll keep reporting to you. And thank you again for taking your time to listen to Concerned Citizens Media. Let's share with friends and family so we can grow it to make it the voice for the voiceless. Thank you again, and I will be back with other news and comment. See you soon. So long, everyone.